Hello everyone, this is the Batman Statue Collector, once again coming to you from my Batcave. And this episode I'd like to take you on a quick review of my very first Sideshow review. And this is a review of the Batman 89 premium format figure by Sideshow Collectibles. This is a 1/4 scale statue. This is a very popular piece. A lot of people really enjoy this statue. And I do as well. There are, of course, some things that I love about it. There are some things that I don't love about the statue, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about those. But the first thing I want, you can tell right away that this is Michael Keaton. They did a really, really great job on the bottom of the cowl. I feel like, that is Batman 89 right there. That is Michael Keaton. Looks really, really good. I really like this statue from the front. I feel like Sideshow did a really good job with that. There are certain angles, though, that I feel like it doesn't display very well. I feel like, even that angle is not too bad. I feel like from the side, I feel like it looks pretty awkward. I just don't think it looks all that great from the side. And there are a lot of statues, though, that just don't. They just don't look great from other angles. But this particular guy, I feel like he really displays well from the front, but not necessarily from the sides. But everything, of course, starts with this head sculpt. And again, they did a really, really good job on the lips of Michael Keaton. I feel like, you instantly know who he is, even, maybe a non-giant Batman fan like myself, but I think you would know that that's Michael Keaton. And so I feel like they did a really, really great job with that. Other great things about this statue, the cape, you can see the texturing here, so it really looks like leather. I'm sure it is some sort of pleather, but it is, a thick material. It really hangs and drapes really, really nicely. It's, it's got a nice weight to it, and it's got a nice, like I said, a nice drape that hangs down really, really nice. I don't believe this one has any sort of wires in it, like some of the Batman capes, so you don't have to worry about posing it necessarily. This particular one is the EX, and I love the EX on this, but it's kind of wasted because it hides back here. You can drape that over and give it kind of that look like that, but still, you don't really see the EX, and the EX on this guy is, take it off here, the EX is the Grapple Gun, which is very cool. It's the Batman 89 Grapple Gun. But again, the way that they did the particular pose, the arm is back here, and you just don't really see it at all. There's the front. That's the front view. This right here is the side view. So you get it kind of a little bit, but it's still kind of hidden back there, so you don't really see it. And like I said, I always keep the cape down, kind of posed like where it's draped over that rock, so you definitely really don't see it at all. This particular arm here, again, great detailing, but I feel like the cape covers it up because it's, meant to be holding the cape like he's going down the stairs, so you kind of bunch the cape up in those fingers. And so again, you kind of miss some of the detailing there, which is unfortunate because again, I feel like a lot of the detail is really great, but then you just don't see it. So here's some of the detailing, of course, on the belt. On camera, this looks a lot more yellow. It's kind of more of a gold. I don't know if you can see the difference, in the two colors. This is a lot brighter yellow, and this is gold, which I think is pretty screen accurate. As you go down, the body is basically one piece except for the head. The head does come off. Again, it's got a magnet there on the underside. Get kind of a close-up here of his face so you could really see the sculpt. The eyes look good. I'm assuming that they are decals. I think Sideshow got smart with the decals on the eyeballs as opposed to the hand-painted ones, because so many derpy eyes. But anyway, the body is all one piece, very just kind of a matte black. I'm sure it was very, very easy for the factory to produce. Then as you get down here to the bottom, you see the stairs. The stairs are made of plastic, but it still has a nice effect. They kind of painted it to make it look like the metal has wore away. The rock itself, though, is polystone. So you definitely get that feel of the Batcave. There are also some really cool features back here, which, again, I feel like these are some details that are kind of lost with the statue because you don't really display it this way. But there are some bats that hang underneath, which I think is a cool effect. But again, I just feel like you just don't ever see them. You just don't ever see them really under there the way the statue is displayed. So again, just a little bit of wasted detail, but it's still cool that it's back there. It's neat that you know that it's back there. But anyway, I really do like this statue. It's 1/4 scale, as I mentioned. One thing that bothers me and has bothered a lot of collectors out there is that his head is turned. And if you know anything about the movies, Batman and of course Batman Returns, he can't move his head. It was even addressed in the newer Batman movies with Christian Bale. He wants to be able to turn his head because in these movies he couldn't. And so the fact that he is turning it in this pose upset a lot of collectors. You're like, why can't you just make him straight on? And they could have. They could have just had him looking straight ahead, but maybe it would have affected the pose. I'm not sure. But anyway, a lot of people really hated that fact. So anyway, I don't mind it too bad. Again, I still feel like it has a nice presence. But, little artistic license, I guess, as they say. But overall, I give this piece, I would say probably an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like he is well done. It's simplistic in parts, but also, you definitely, again, know exactly who this is when you look at him. I do have the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman premium format on pre-order, and it's supposed to come out very soon. I've been kind of debating whether to keep this guy or not. I know Prime 1 is going to be coming out with a 1/3 scale, and I really, really like the 1/3 scale pieces. And so that's going to be a tough call. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the Michelle Pfeiffer and keep her for a while and see how they look together. I think they're going to pair up very nicely together. I have my fingers very much crossed for a Danny DeVito Penguin, as well as a Jack Nicholson Joker. Man, I would just absolutely love those to be displayed, the four of them all together. I would just love, one display of them all together. But I don't know for sure if Sideshow has the licensing for those likenesses or not, but I sure would love to see it. And again, I'm really excited to see what Prime 1 does with the Batman 89 look. I don't know if it'll be just a museum pose or something different, but anyway, I guess we'll find out in the future. So, again, this is just a quick little review of my thoughts on this statue, the Batman 89 premium format, 1/4 scale by Sideshow Collectibles. Again, this is the EX, kind of a throwaway EX, unfortunately. But if you are a Batman fan, if you are a Michael Keaton fan, if you loved those movies, this is a piece that could stand alone. You don't need a whole bunch of other Batman statues around it. You can simply display this in your office or your collection room, and it would look great. Because again, there's no question. If somebody walks in a room, they say, oh, that's Batman 89 right there. That's Michael Keaton. There is really no question about it. And I feel like, Hot Toys does a really great job with their likenesses, and sometimes Sideshow is kind of hit and miss. I used to have the second version of their Jack Sparrow, and it looked just like Johnny Depp. It was really, really impressed. I was really impressed with how it looked. This is another one. You know exactly who it is. You know that that's Michael Keaton. There is no question about it. So again, I give this a pretty high score overall. There are some things about it that I don't love, but again, if you're on the fence about this guy, I think you would like him. If you're a Batman fan, Michael Keaton fan, I would say go for it. So, this is the Batman Statue Collector. I hope you have enjoyed this review. If you like what you see, I would love for you to subscribe. Leave comments below. And until next time, I'll see you soon.